Good morning. We're recording live here at the Bear and Beak Bakery at 44 East Park Drive. Monty the Music Man Seaburns, and joining me this morning in place of the mayor on the Thursday edition of the morning show is Eric Bruce. Eric, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Monty. Thank you.
It's great to have you along with us here this morning, and you have been very active as a volunteer in the community, and this started out, I believe, in scouting. Maybe you could give us a little bit about how you got started in your volunteer work.
Sure. This has been about 14, 15 years ago. My son came home with a piece of paper from school. I think he was in second grade at the time. I wanted to become a Cub Scout. So I decided, all right, we'll go find out what this is all about. And we went to the meeting that night, and by the end of the night, he was a new Cub Scout, and I happened to be a new leader. So I worked with Jacob through his Cub Scouting career, moved up with him. You know, there's a couple levels of Cub Scouting. You got the Wolf, you got Bear, Webelow 1, Webelow 2, and so I worked with him through those times.
Fantastic. You know, there's a lot of kids that have benefited so greatly from Scouts, and especially as they get older and go for that Eagle badge, which is a really, really big deal.
Yeah, Eagle's the highest, obviously, the honor you can get in Boy Scouts, and that is kind of the striving point. Statistically, only 4 out of every 100 Scouts ever get that rank, and I think here in Huntington we do a great job of actually doing a little bit more than that. But yeah, that Eagle Scout helps you help those boys in the military, helps on the resumes. I actually have hired a guy based on having an Eagle Scout. So it's just that honor, privilege of knowing what they had to go through and the leadership skills they had to receive to be able to get that.
Well, it's really a program that gives them a lot of opportunity when you think about it. I mean, a lot of people think it's just about camping and so on and so forth, but it really isn't. I mean, there's so much more, many faces of scouting, if you will.
Absolutely. There's actually over 140 kind of these merit badges is what we call them, which they're really just life skills. I mean, these kids nowadays, obviously today is probably more than ever, doesn't hurt anybody to have a little bit more life skills. Everything from welding to, activities like cycling and swimming, game design, just, 147 different activities that they can learn and earn through the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts. But not only that, it's, like I said, it's not only just camping and such, but we really teach them leadership skills, and that's, we're always looking at raising these kids to be the next leaders in our communities.
Yes, and I remember there's been a lot of great people involved. Yourself, John Vostel, Herb Scott. I remember him bringing his troop by one of my recording studios one time and us putting together a radio program with them.
Yeah, Herb, great guy. John's great guy. Really all the leaders here in town. We have 3 Boy Scout troops here in the city. Herb Scott's troop, his 637. My troop's 130, and then Kevin Brake's troop 135. We just all do a great job of helping the community. And like I said, Boy Scouts is a community organization, so helping out with parades or cleanup or planting trees or whatever it is, cleaning up the river. That's what the Boy Scout troops like to do as well.
Now, getting to another face of your volunteer service in the community, and this is one that's really on the rise and becoming big, and that is HARTA. So for our listeners, tell us what that stands for and a little bit about its genesis.
Sure. The HARTA is the Huntington Area Recreational Trails Association. We're a trail advocacy group that started about 2014, when the city was starting to get a few trails here and there. And that's really what we want to do. We want to expand and take care of the trails we have today in the city, to be able to have events and just to have a safe place for kids and adults to enjoy themselves.
Well, that's fantastic, and it's amazing how it's grown over the years, because we've seen this go from maybe a couple trails to a lot of trail opportunities, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. You can get on the trail right now in front of Johnny's, make it all the way up to the college, down to Lake Claire and back, and you got 6-7 miles there that you can do. So it's a really great opportunity for a continuous type of trail to be able to take family walks or have your kids feel like they're having a safe place. And we're always looking to expand those trails, and we're actually working with a project right now with the city, looking at maybe getting at Gregg Street where it ends at the college, and being able to get some trails over to the school and over to the Y, again, to help with safety.
Well, it does. It makes it a lot more safe for pedestrians and that sort of thing. And one of the things that we were talking about just before we started recording here this morning was events and festivals. Let's touch on that a little bit.
Sure. HARTA always likes to, have events and trails being recognized as much as we can. So we always try and offer celebrate the National Trails Day by having an event. You can, bike, walk, run. Usually we're set up there each year to be able to promote that. We've also put 5K events on the trail. Some of you may remember our Zombie Dash. The Halloween Zombie Dash is what we called it. Runners were able to get on the trails. It's just for us, we just want to be able to make sure people are aware of the trails, be able to get on these trails safely. And actually, this last year, HARTA was able to put together a trail map that kind of outlines all the trails offered in the city of Huntington and in the county as well. And those maps are available at different trail-friendly businesses, which are marked on those maps. And what that means is if you get to one of these trail-friendly businesses, they've invited you to come in and fill up your water bottle if needed and use the restroom as well.
That is a really great service to have, and it's really great that businesses are participating because, it's good promotion for them as well, being involved with the trails and getting to be out in the public eye.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. Help, really is here to help the community as much as we can. Give recognition and get people in front of businesses and just have enjoyable places to go.
As winter gives way to spring and spring to summer, you've got an event coming up in June, kind of like a beer and wine festival. Is that correct? Absolutely.
So HARTA, part of our mission, is to raise funds to be able to expand trails and such. So yeah, our beer and wine festival, which we've done for the last many years, is a great event for adults. Come and join. Come and enjoy the beer and wine tastings and food. We have 4 or 5 food trucks will be there, live bands, and so those tickets are actually available. And check out our Facebook page.
Okay, after when they do that, how do they get to that Facebook page?
Well, I think you just do a search for HARTA or Huntington Area Recreational Trails, and it'll take you right to it. It should be the first listing.
Okay, fantastic. And when you say with the beer and wine tastings, are a lot of the local craft vendors and wineries getting involved with that here from this area?
Oh, yeah. So it's been a big event. We try and keep all of our beer and wine vendors to Indiana. That way, we can kind of stay local. And so, yeah, people enjoy it, especially with COVID. People want to get out. This is about the time, June, beginning of summer. People want to get out and enjoy themselves, and this is a great way to do that.
I would imagine it is. People are going a little stir crazy, but you're right. Great opportunity and just a fantastic time. If you would be able to get a message out to listeners or something you really want them to hear, what would that be as far as HARTA is concerned?
Get out and enjoy the trails. Let us know what, make sure they're up to, just to make sure they're up to what people are expecting to be. We just want people to be out there enjoying themselves, especially for me, be able to place for the kids to be safe. That's really part of near and dear to my heart. And I have kids of my own, and to be able to know that they're on a safe trail is just just support trails in Huntington.
And one of the other things that they can do that will help keep these trails vibrant and keep these trails going is to help keep them clean and litter free. If you just don't throw your water bottles down, or maybe you could talk about a little bit about that. Has that been a very good effort by the citizenry? Have they been really helping you with that?
Yeah. So you will find some water bottles and trash on the trails, and you can't always attribute it to people actually throwing it there. I think with a lot of the garbage collection and the wind and stuff, there's some of that, but. For the most part, the cities are doing the folks of Huntington are doing great of disposing their trash. We also have some groups that are willing to help, and we've had some trash cleanup days. So some help with the kids at the college and other youth groups have helped us keep the trails clean.
One of the exciting things is you say this is an ever-expanding effort, and this is not just here in the city of Huntington, but maybe a city-to-city effort. Is that you were talking about that a little earlier? Yeah,
I think over the next 5 to 8 years, you're going to see a big push for connected cities, getting cities connected. Fort Wayne to Huntington, Huntington to Bluffton, Huntington to Wabash, and right now Wabash is doing a great job. They've just connected their trails another 6 or 7 miles to LaGros. And so that's been a great effort. It's a great trail. And if you go to LeGros, their signage they're using the same signage that we're using here in Huntington. So the familiarity of the signs, and then working with them to get pointed to Andrews, and so we got small pushes to get that city to city connection to Huntington.
That's really awesome. It kind of takes you back to the interurban days, only walking or biking fashion, and of course with the high cost of travel, fuel costs going up, this is a great alternative to having to get in a car and maybe drive somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, bike as being the mode of transportation has really grown over the last years, and you may attest to if you go into a store or trying to look for a bike, they're kind of scarce right now. But that if you can find a bike, I definitely suggest you get one. Get a good one. We have a local bike shop here in town. It's got plenty of bikes in stock, so look for bikes. Being a lot of bikes on the trails this year.
Well, that is fantastic, and I appreciate, and so do so many, I'm sure, what it is that you and HARTA are doing. Now, if someone is listening and they want to get in touch with you, maybe they have an idea, maybe they want to volunteer, give us some ways to get in touch with you.
Sure. HARTA is all over the Facebook. We're on Instagram. We have a website, and just punching in the search engine, it should be the first option that comes up. But if you have a love for trails, whether it's biking, cycling, hiking, just if you want to help, we'd be glad to get you in touch and put you in, getting you out doing something.
All right. Mr. Eric Bruce, our guest this morning, and I want to thank you for taking a little bit of your time to stop down here and record with us. We certainly do appreciate you, and we wish you the best in all you do.
Thank you, Monty. I really appreciate the offer here.
All right. That's going to wrap it up. We'll get back into more music right here on The Morning Show.